maybe nobody.
You can show us if you want.
You might need a new one of those. This seems getting a little chrome.
Well, there's two adjustments on it on the back. You can get that turned the way you want it. It's just a pain in the neck. Sit forward like that when you do it.
I'm gonna sit forward. I think I'm just gonna sit right here. Okay, so what are we talking about?
Well, I just have that question. I mean, you know, those people get angry when other.
Alex Giles is the #1 on the live right
Shalom,
now.
brother.
Shalom, brother.
So when people get angry when others say only women can birth babies,
Yep.
and all that, and the basketball team has to apologize,
Right.
because they said that or something like that.
The
or
whole basketball team apologizing for saying.
I just have a question.
Only
I'm
women
confused.
give birth.
I'm confused.
Right.
What is a uterus?
Right. What is a uterus?
It's just a question.
We're just asking because we were looking at like the headlines here. Let's see if I can tip that just a little bit. No, I can't. Looks better tipped, but Shalom, homie, says Palmetto paratrooper, and hang on, Highlander was there. Lost Light, Shalom, Escape PJ, and our Shepherds LLC, Shalom. And Kyle, somebody, Shalom. Actually, I should have a phone of yours to look at all this. Oh well. Southern Oklahoma. Where is it? Oh Lord. Okay. Hang on, everybody. We're still here.
I don't know. Are we still transmitting?
Yeah, we're still
That had to be
transmitting.
exciting.
Yeah, you guys had to
And
hang
I
in
can't
there.
have you put your head here because I can't see my mirror.
Oh goodness. There is Tim and Susan with OK Country Living. Guys, you're going to have to give us a minute. We're having physical difficulties with the phone holder. So
You're the phone holder.
I was. This came off of that, like completely out of that. Should I redo the seal on it or something?
I mean, I can't look at that and drive in this traffic. You're going to have to solve the problem.
Don't say that. If I can. All right, we're going to try that.
Did you suction it down?
I don't know how you suction it down.
That little dial at the bottom goes, like, put it on.
All right, so let me try this. Woo-wee, we're having fun now. That went fun. Yeah, really. You're the one who said. I don't want to hear it. All right. We're just, we are not going to say which way we're going. We're having
Going crazy is what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going crazy. Just pretend you're on a roller coaster, and every once in a while, the whole thing gets upset, and you fall down on the floor. Alex says they're doing great. And Sarah Hoskins says, we have lost suction.
That's right.
And
Suction.
Susan says, ouch, because you bounced. All right, let me try this again. I want that not to be at such an extreme angle there. All right, so now you're going to see, like, seatbelt, which is so exciting. All right, so I got that. There's NWA Prepper. Shalom. Hey, brother. Okay, so that's better. And there's 20 of you in here. I figured north was vague enough. No, it's not vague enough. It must be even vaguer. Let's just say we're traveling. That's always pretty safe.
On the road again.
Now we'll try this.
Can't wait to get on the road again.
One more time. That might do it. Right there. I am not going to try to adjust that thing again because it goes woo. So
I can't wait to get on the road.
we were just discussing
The question.
the question.
What is a uterus?
And can men have a baby?
What is a uterus?
What is a woman? Because
What is a uterus?
some people apparently don't know any of these. Try licking the suction cup. I thought that is gross, but it works.
You could lick your finger.
I could do that, but I think I've gotten it. It seems like it's in there. And now, it? Take that. I'm already getting too hot. I'm getting flustered from the pressure. I'm not the techie person. I'm just the talking head. Just checking out some news as we were driving. We've got, it helps us pass the time to discuss things. And so we did discuss things, Pastor and I, on the way up. And looked at some news articles and things, and so then we were doing that on the way down, just to say what do we want to talk about, and that is what stuck out to us.
You're terrible in OPSEC on the way up, on the way down.
I could be going sideways for all they know. I'm a very, inaccurate, forgetful woman. All right, just assume we're somewhere driving on a highway. Anyway. I don't know if it was a tweet or what, but
don't lean your head forward.
I'm not going to lean my head forward.
With all this garbage right here.
It was a tweet. It was a tweet about a basketball team, a pro basketball team, having to officially apologize for saying that only women can birth babies.
Only women can birth babies.
And they got in trouble for that.
What is a uterus? That's my question.
Is a man born with a uterus?
Careful, they're going to kick you off. You better be careful.
He's not. It's a biological. You just can't. Hey, Red Dog Ridge says, we finally made it live. Hello. Well, hello to you.
Hello.
I think I shared this with only people who know what a woman is. Well, there you go. Let's see. Those 7-foot-tall basketball players birth a baby then. That's right. Let's see them do it. You think you can do it? Go ahead. But no, I think they were saying only women can. I think it wasn't the basketball players. I think it was probably the management who was saying, oh, you can't say that. You can't say only women have babies. But you're right, Alex. Let's see a man birth a baby.
No, thank you.
With no
thank you.
No.
Pass. Hard pass.
No surgical intervention.
No, I'm done. No, thanks. Nope.
No chemical assistance. None of that. Just go ahead. Try to get pregnant in the first place. That ain't gonna happen. All right. All right. NWA purposes. So I just showed up for this live, and I am already laughing. And Ann Seaton. Oh, I haven't seen Ann Seaton online in a long time. Ann Seaton says, my sheep tractors now each sport feeders for mineral supplement and kelp. That sounds good. I want to go eat lunch with your sheep. Tarps are tightened so they have basic wind and rain shelter. My sheep were very happy with me. Well, good for you, Anne. That is very nice of you to help them out. Let's see. What do we got? They're in South Africa heading to Egypt. That's us. That's right. Just no. Okay.
I can guarantee you if we were in South Africa or not South Africa.
Hopefully heading to the airport.
Yeah, to the airport.
To go back to the Ozarks. Got a little dusty. There, let me wipe your glasses off, y'all. Let's see. Moving around everywhere. Maybe NBA players have uteruses. It's Ken
Maybe they
Warland.
do.
Hey, I'm going to give Ken Warland a shout out because he supports my channel and he got my book pre-ordered at DeBarring Publishers, and his number is 007.
Oh, really?
It's actually 00007.
That's cool, though.
But I still thought, oh yeah, so he got the James Bond
Edition,
right? And Teresa Jukowitz got 0001. She got the first print, first order. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's see what else y'all are saying. Shalom C103. Shalom Patty Sanchez, who's also a channel supporter of mine. Thank you so much, Patty, and just a really all-around nice lady. Queen of the Cosmetics, happy Monday, guys. Ken Orland is shaken, not stirred for the phone.
I've had one martini in my life. Woof.
Why? Why would one have that?
I don't know. It's
Okay, and then that is I even have glasses on. Cindy P. Hello. So, we thought that was kind of hinky and weird. And then something else we discussed. Have you guys been watching the news about the destruction of the police training area
To be.
future site of in Atlanta?
Hot Atlanta.
Yep, Cindy P says she's so glad she caught a live. Well, and the lives really help us with just staying awake, doing our traveling, and it also allows us to interact with you
And
guys.
after one certain person on this live stream showed me what for, I no longer go faster than 7 miles over the speed limit.
That's right.
I used to go 10 or 12.
Or 15.
No more. Now I'm like below 7 over.
Okay, Queen of the Cosmetics says that's just terrible. Well, it was terrible. And what's even worse
We got red lights.
is when you go to different websites reporting about the event. I read one to Pastor on the way on the first half of our journey here, and it was so biased. It said that they were
Observers? No.
forest rights activists who were defending the forest around the site. They were like, "Don't cut the trees down! Don't cut the trees down!" And one of those people was shot and killed by the police. But what the report didn't say was the Georgia state troopers claimed that activist shot a state trooper first. And so then you've got these activists. Well, let's see, there's 150 of them. They're all dressed in black. And they had fireworks and made Molotov cocktails.
It started like a little forest fire.
And started a forest fire and burned some sort of big equipment. I don't remember if
They
it
were
was
monkey wrenching.
like a tractor or a what's that thing called?
I'm driving now.
Big piece of equipment with an arm on it. Not a crane.
Backhoe?
Trackhoe. Like set something like that on fire, which by the way, public people, those things are stinking expensive, trackhoes and stuff. They're millions of dollars.
There's a reason we don't have one.
Right, or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so
Because we would like a track hoe. Yes, we would.
you're going to set that on fire and put all those chemicals up in the air and spill oil and
That
gas.
can't be good for the environment.
That can't be good for the environment, but you're a tree rights activist? Like, come on. The actual video from the site, they're Antifa. They're
Well,
not
they charged 20 of them
23 of them.
with domestic terrorism. So that's a good start.
Right? They charge them with domestic terrorism, but
Are they out on bail yet?
22 of them are not Georgia residents,
Of course not.
and 2 of them are like from out of the country.
So why wasn't the FBI in on this from the beginning?
Right.
Why didn't they stop them when they got out of their car or off their bus or whatever at the site? They've got enough right there for conspiracy
Right.
to commit terrorism. Why didn't they arrest them right there and
Right
avoid
there.
all this nonsense?
Right. And avoid all the damage to the public and probably private property. If it's a police training academy, it could be a private contractor building it for.
I don't think so. I think it was public.
But it could, if it's public, that means your taxpayer dollars that bought the land and the equipment is now trashed, like wasted, like poured out on the ground.
Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, they didn't because they aren't Christians. Oh, Ladysmith said a loader. Yeah, loader, something like that. What are your thoughts on Trump's freedom cities?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what that is, but if it's one of those like 15-minute cities for conservatives,
Forget about it.
eh,
I will not be contained.
eh,
I'm a free man traveling on the land.
I'm just saying,
Are you
like,
detaining me? Are you detaining me? Am I free to go?
I'm
Clearly
just
not,
saying,
young man. Sit there. And I'll be with you in a minute.
there are suburban neighborhoods with a mall right down the street that really aren't that different from a quote unquote 15-minute
My
city.
point on the 15-minute city is I think they're a great idea as long as they don't fine you or control you if you want to leave it. Like, people want to leave and they're saying they have to
Get
pay a big
permission
fee or something. No, hell
from the
no.
city
And
planner.
don't be tracking if I'm coming or going. But if you want to put a coffee shop within walking distance of
a
my
neighborhood.
apartment, that's fine.
Right. I mean, there's a certain amount of people live in communities anyway, kind of. You'll have to look up the Freedom Cities. I think he talked about it last weekend. CB, I would go crazy if I have to live in one of those.
I don't want to live in a city of any kind.
But there's plenty of people who do want to do that. Like, don't want to have to own a car. And a lot of big cities seems nefarious, as Lady Smith. That's a really good word to describe it. But, like, there's neighborhoods in New York City. Nobody owns a car. It's too expensive. Williamsburg, parts of Manhattan. And people just use taxis or they use the subway. And that way you're not responsible. You don't have to have car insurance, which some of us know can be pretty pricey. But if they're gonna, John Cox, Pastor Joe rules.
Not yet.
If you don't want to, if you want to live with a bunch of like-minded other people in a small area, a lot of people already do that.
Yeah, some of us already do that. Oh.
What is that? What are you talking about?
Why would you want to do that?
I don't think Atlanta is going to put up with this for now, so C-103.
I hope not.
If there were 150 rioters...
Proud Boys. Throwing Molotov cocktails at a police station and shooting a trooper, what would happen to them?
They'd all be arrested.
They'd call out the National Guard. They'd be banning Proud Boys all over. Every newscast would be talking about it. Now it's almost crickets.
Well, and it's freedom, right? They're freedom fighters. They're anti.
One man's freedom fighters, another man's terrorists.
Right?
Are we? We're in the middle of a wide open country that's relatively populated.
But if they charge all 23 of them and prosecute them, like,
they won't. It'll all go away. You watch.
I'm all for it. Even if George Soros...
They'll be out of jail before those... Was it January 6th people?
They've been in jail a year at least.
But that was January 6th, right?
Yeah, that was January 6th.
Yeah, they've been in jail for over a year.
Yeah.
No trial. What about a fair and speedy trial?
Right. That's not been... People have not been getting that for a long time in the U.S. Our court system's overburdened.
I don't care. If you
There
can't
are
give
Bloods.
a trial, let them go.
There are Bloods and Crips in Atlanta that will put up with 15-minute cities. That's an interesting comment.
Well, they get a pass, you see, due to their unique status and oppression status.
Patrick Onstead is here. You two are giving me something to listen to while I boil maple sap.
Yee-hoo.
Yes! Down's my last 13 gallons for this run. We'll get about 2 gallons out of it. That's a pretty good ratio right there. And since you
2
brought
gallons
up,
out of 13? Yeah, that's
a
pretty
really good, right? Now, it could be the last 13 gallons out of a bigger amount and getting 2 gallons. So it could have been 80 gallons. But since you brought it up, Lost Light.
Oh, God, don't get her started.
The maple syrup. We had a successful run this year. I mean, it was late. It was late because no one thought we were going to do it. And then somebody decided, no, we're going to do it. And so one of the sisters and I went down and collected the first sap, tapped the first trees, got a good amount of sap out of it. We got inspired. And so boiled down about, I want to say, maybe 20 gallons and got almost a gallon, or no, boiled down 14 gallons and got almost a gallon of delicious, clear, buttery, tasty syrup. It's really good. And then we have another 14-ish gallons to boil down. And a different set of people are going to do it because the person who boiled it down the first time was getting the experience, and there's more people who want to. And we've already inspired several friends to get the styles and in bags or buckets or whatever, and to tap their own trees.
Tapping with style. That should
Right?
be a t-shirt.
It should be. And I'm all for it. I mean, if you have the trees and you have the time,
I ain't got time for that.
you cannot get a more pure syrup than just getting the sap from your own trees and boiling it down. You don't add anything to it. You're subtracting the water out of it. It's super tasty. So, yeah.
Why do people drive slow in the fast lane? Why am I passing you in the right-hand lane and you're reading a book?
That man is reading a book while driving his car on a highway with a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit.
I need a minigun, an automated minigun that just goes.
Holy schmoly. He shouldn't read a book and drive at the same time. I think you guys can agree with us there. At least do it in the slow lane.
Caltrops.
Caltrops.
Is Jeremiah on?
No, I didn't see him. Does PJ double tap his trees?
The big ones. The big ones.
Is that a pun?
We do double tap the big ones, though. Pop
Yeah.
up.
Some of the bigger trees you can have 2 taps in, but if that's a pun, I'm laughing at it. All right,
Anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice.
PJ sounds like me when he's driving. I agree. It's funny and yummy. Shalom, Sister K and PJ headed home from
You
ATS.
pushed our emergency blinkers. We don't want to draw the attention of the state's finest when we're going down the road at 5 miles over the speed limit.
Is ATS the conference?
Arming the Saints, yes.
Wow, Lone Star Living went to it.
Cool.
Wow. Well, if you want to talk about your experience here, brother, go ahead. That's pretty cool. Lost Light says they triple tap their huge tree. Are you on Top Chat or Live Chat, says Palmetto? I'm not sure. That's a really good question.
You got a live chat on you.
Well, you get a choice, but I forget how you do that.
My phone is in there. Actually, this is the phone that you can read comments.
Okay, let me see. I don't know that it asked me this time, Palmetto.
We're just chatting.
All right, so I have to go to...
Bottom left, there's the internet icon. Pop on that, then type YouTube, then go to subscriptions.
Okay, hang on.
This modern technology, let me tell you.
I'm trying to catch up to you. It was fantastic. So many good discussions with the brethren. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I think this is no. I don't want that. There we go.
I'd do it for you, but I'm driving.
That's all right. I got it.
I'm going to put this thing in cruise control.
It defaults Top Chat. I always change it to Live Chat.
5 over.
I popped in on Saturday. I must have missed you somehow. It was great to see you, says Kyle M. So Kyle M was there too. Wow.
Kyle who?
M.
Oh, I said Lamb.
Kyle M.
Lamb.
All right, so now I gotta find subscriptions. There it is. There.
And then you're going to have to turn the sound down because it won't be synced.
Be synced. There it is. Wow, SK and PJ are live. Should we go there?
We're live!
Should we see what they're talking about? Should we see what they're talking about? I turned the sound down.
There you go.
It was fantastic. There's Teresa Jukowitz.
Fantastic.
Live chat, all messages. And Lone Star and Teresa are moderators for me. And Teresa is the one who got the 0001 copy of my book.
No, ites.
Right? She pre-ordered it. And she's been following my channel a long time. So good for you, Teresa. Sergeant J, it defaults to Chop Chat. I always change it to live. I'm not going to try to mess with it right now simply because I'm afraid I'll do something bad to it. All right. Rocket launcher that comes from your fender, PJ, like 007's car. or a Batman car, right?
Or a Terminator that I can just launch and it takes off.
That's
Like
right.
a Death Race 2000.
Not that he takes the driving thing seriously or whatever.
I do want a box of caltrops.
Well, it looks like we're in Top Chat because his phone is saying Top Chat, and then there's a little smiley face and a little $sign in the bottom corner. I'm looking forward to the women's retreat. So, Patty Sanchez, I was curious, when is that? I'm not exactly dialed in on it, and I want to know that information.
Well, I know somebody you could ask.
Teresa's been even on your channel even longer.
You don't have to look at that anymore.
Cindy P says, the last weekend in April, I just talked to KL about it today. Well, I might actually be able to go the last week in April.
Maybe. We got to look and see how it goes. I don't think April's full yet.
Right? I don't think
March is full.
I don't think my agenda is full, and I think that might be a hoot for me. So I better call KL today or something. Let somebody know. Powerful Prep says, hey guys. Hey.
Hey.
The camera's oriented the way it is because we had a little physical difficulty with the support, and so PJ is here. He's right there, and every once in a while he pops his head over. So none of you guys answered. Like Teresa Jukowitz says, I have one of PJ's signed books.
Those are hard to get.
Hard to get and very valuable. And people on the last live stream I did suggested to me that I like raffle a signed one. So maybe I will. But if Teresa's getting 0001, you know I probably don't even have a copy of my own book yet.
I don't have a copy of your book.
Right? We have to order it as well and, get it delivered. So who knows? Maybe we'll have a book signing somewhere.
Oh, we could do that, a book signing.
Right?
At Refuge Medical.
Anthony Jensen says hello. And there's Sophie Akers Homestead. Shalom, guys. Shalom, Sophie Akers. Up in Canada. She's getting ready to plant plants. She's got big plants. She's going to put in another raised bed. All that. Good lady. All right. And just got PJ's book a few weeks ago. Cindy P said, what do you think about it? Did you get some good ideas? And there's Carrie Stennett. Hello, SK and PJ. Hello. Nobody answered our question though, sweetie.
What's the question? What is a uterus?
What is a uterus?
I'm confused. People are getting in trouble for saying only women can have babies. That they get punished for saying that. So, okay, that's fine. But then my question is, what is a uterus? Discuss.
Tell us what a woman is. All right. Patty Sanchez says the women's retreat starts April 28th.
Yeah.
And Doc B donated $5. Thank you, Doc B. That's very sweet. Sarah Hoskins says, can you do the book signing before or after the women's retreat when I'll be in the area at Refuge Medical? Otherwise, that's a long drive. Do it, SK said Patty Sanchez. Well, I think that's probably a good idea. Sarah,
you're not going to be able to do a book signing during the retreat because it's not what the retreat's about. You can sign somebody's book if they have it, but you're not going to do a book signing.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying setting up my little booth with sales and stuff, but you can drop by my room or something and I can sign your book for you, something like that. I think it's a good idea. Could do it before or after or something.
You can do it while you're not.
Right? Bear and Ben Davidson can't wait. Lou Ross and Patrick Weinstein. I'm not sure what that's for. A womb, Lynn Wilkerson says, a womb is to carry an ovulated egg. A woman is what our father says. Carrie says, a partner for us.
Huh. Oh, I know. What did he create them? Male and what? Male and female,
What?
and he created them.
The uterus is where a fetus and where baby develops and grows, also called a womb, from Sarah Hoskins.
Huh.
Right,
So that's where babies come from.
right.
A womb,
It's Adam
a
and Eve,
uterus.
not
Huh.
Adam and Steve, says
Huh.
Forrest Coast.
I mean, I'm just, I'm curious.
Eve had a uterus. Shalom, SK and PJ, bless y'all.
Bless you.
And there is Thunder Chicken Ranch. Wow, I made it to alive. Well, welcome, Thunder Chicken Ranch.
Oh, thunder.
Yeah, Thunder.
I think you said under chicken. I don't want to be under a chicken. Not for long.
No. And
That's why if you ever have a statue made of yourself, make sure you're wearing a hat because of the pigeons and such.
Sophie Akers Homestead says, I think it's so stupid that this is actually something that people are fighting about.
I think the people who are fighting about it on the one side are so stupid. I
Right.
agree.
It is biologically impossible
We're living in the end times.
for a man to be born in a woman's body or a woman
No,
to
it's
be
not
born.
biologically impossible for a man to be born in a woman's body. All men come of women.
Oh, get that file. No, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
It's biologically impossible. It's not a thing that can happen.
Okay, take it easy. You want to keep your channel? Take it easy.
Look, Thunder
Let's
Chicken
not
Ranch.
use these radical statements of science.
This is the Thunder Chicken Ranch said, "You do you, boo."
You do you, boo.
That's right. And
All right, I'm going to start counting. That is one raccoon.
Wes
One
S.
raccoon.
said, "I thought women were to make sandwiches." Wes S., you're exactly right. Some of the best sandwiches
In our
this
house,
man has ever had,
not some of, all of.
I made.
Amen.
And I've had several people, not family members, tell me I made the best sandwich they've ever eaten
Amen.
before. So you are right about that. Anyone who doesn't know what their gender is should be sent to the bottom of the ocean.
Or at least to therapy. Come on.
Oh my God, I laughed so hard at the photo bomb video.
That was you photobombing my video, right?
I think so. Hey, I couldn't help it. He sets up his videos where I'm like trying to feed my chickens and so,
Or where you're trying to scoop rabbit poop.
or scoop rabbit poop, and it's like,
Come on. Everyone knows how important that is.
Normally, I'm dressed in my chore, what
Garb.
chore garb, right? And if you saw my short on that, it's effective but eccentric. And if you don't have straw in your hair and like your pajamas on with your big floppy slippers or something,
That's 2 raccoons.
are you really a homesteader? That's all I'm saying. So let me see who I'm saying hello to. Tiago Gumke says, "Shalom, everyone. Kentucky Sustainable Living. Hello, SK and PJ. Love your interview with Bob.
Thanks. I thought it went really well.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Bob does a good job.
Bob does a really good job. as
Across
an
the
interviewer.
Table with Bob is the name of the YouTube channel.
Yep, and there's now 10. You are the 10th.
I was number 10. That's not good at Asia.
The 10th interview, and the other brethren and people he has, like my publisher, Sarah,
They're all tribe members, right? So
they're all tribe members. They're all very interesting people. Great testimonies on there. Yeah. So if you haven't seen Across the Table with Bob, we highly recommend you watch those.
yeah, he's good.
Kentucky Sustainable Living says that was one of the best videos you ever posted on Patreon.
Oh,
Photo Bob.
that's the 3rd raccoon.
He really enjoyed the podcast also. Hopefully there will be more. I'm sure they plan on
I
having
couldn't
more.
tell what that one was.
Tiago Gumke says, was an awesome interview indeed. And Carrie Stewart said, I thoroughly enjoyed that interview.
And actually, he cut out a half hour of it.
Teresa said, great video, PJ. Who's the guy, Kentucky's Sustainable Living. Live raccoons are pancake raccoons.
Oh, they're definitely pancakes.
They're definitely pancakes. We've seen a lot of skunks.
I've seen 3, maybe 4.
And our theory is it's that time of the year
when they're on the move.
They're trying
breeding.
to find mates or have the babies or whatever, and so they get splattered on the roadside. 16 dead skunks and 1 possum on 270 between Wilburton and Punto this morning. 16 dead skunks is a lot.
I see these skunks. Some of them are really cool. If you ever notice, their stripes are different on different skunks. And at one time when all I had was a white strip down my very dark beard, I wanted to make a skunk hat, like a Daniel Boone hat, but out of a skunk. And I see them on the side of the road, and I'm like, should I skin that skunk? But you know what they smell like, especially when they've been hit.
All right. Kentucky Sustainable Living is going to send you an email, and it's Thunder Chicken Ranch, Bob.
Huh?
Well, he
I don't know who
live there.
Thunder. I don't know who Thunder Chicken Ranch is.
Well, he went through. All right, never mind.
What's that? That's a dead deer.
Dead deer on the side of the road. Tis the pancake raccoon season. Well, not quite up in Canada. Says
Still
some
cold in
neighbors.
Canada, still, right?
Quite a few skunks on 59, says Cindy P.
We're gonna have a running total. We got 3 coons, 1 deer so far.
We have striped and spotted skunks here. The spotted ones are kind of cute. They are kind of cute. They're kind of like a little, cat. Shalom, I watched the video with Bob. I thought I was who he was thinking of when he said something about being recognized out in public and don't know them, says Tim Pack.
Oh, he's one of them.
You are one of them, but you were very nice about it. It wasn't strange like sometimes we get. Thunder Chicken Ranch, Rick Jesus' husband. Okay, cool. They smell the same. Yep. Carrie Stennett says it's 74 degrees here in my neck of the Ozarks today, which is plenty warm enough to get your spinach and onions and potatoes in the
Hey, my
ground.
onions and garlic are coming up.
Yeah,
I mowed all the weeds down over top of them a couple weeks ago, and it mowed the tops off, but now they're all sprouting up really nice.
Yes, it's true. I saw him mow that down, and I thought he killed all our walking onions, but all the tops are coming up.
And the garlics are coming up too.
The garlics were already coming up. Some vinegar will take that stink right out of your hat, says Sarah Hoskins. And how does she know? I wonder. I had a skunk once that was in a coop that we built about the size of a closet. And I
That's
went
a
in
big
there,
skunk, size of a closet.
the coop,
Ah,
and I went in there with a broom to just shoo it out. And of course it sprayed, and it just caught right across the front of my hair right here. And I did several like vinegar, tomato washings of my hair, and it still had a smell for a little while. All right. Grady Ratcliffe, shalom from the Jumpman son. He comments on my videos a lot of the time. Shalom. Wes S. says he likes garlic greens for cooking. I haven't tried that, but I use
kind of like
onion
chives.
greens.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. My onions and garlics are looking great. And growing in the Ozarks, is it more sustainable with a greenhouse? Lynn Wilkerson.
In a
Smiling
greenhouse,
Mary.
you can grow 12 months a year.
Hello, Smiling Mary. Yes. I have found Lynn using the greenhouse that I made with just the fence panels and the 4mm plastic, so not an official one. It helped a lot in the when the weather got cool. It kept it about 20 degrees warmer in there. And I also lined the bottom with screen, and that helped keep the bug population down in the greenhouse. But it will get too hot in like June, July, August, so you also need shade cloth to put over the top to keep it from getting too hot and burning your plants.
Or you can roll up the sides.
Mhm. They said, I'm on rock, maybe an inch of topsoil.
That's us. You got to build your own dirt.
Or buy your own dirt, or, compost your own dirt. And raised beds are not a bad idea either. We have a raised bed.
Depends if you get enough water. Raised beds, when you don't get a lot of rain, aren't that good. They get really dry.
But I thought the wood in the bottom was supposed to retain moisture.
It does a better job, but you can dig a hole in the ground, put that wood in it, and then garden. That would be even better. If water's an issue, you don't want a raised bed.
Okay. Making dirt is not difficult. It just takes forever, says Paul Meadow. A lot of times you're waiting for stuff to break down. DK Leith, has anyone else here been bitten by a possum?
Nope, I shoot them before they can bite me.
I have. It took 2 years for the bite to heal, left a huge scar.
Ugh.
I thank Yeshua for the healing. Amen. I have not been bitten by a possum.
And we have not ever eaten a possum.
But if you think about what a possum does, it's a carrion eater. It's eating dead stuff all the time. It probably has a lot of germs in its mouth. Exactly. And that's probably why it took so long.
They call them grinners in the South.
Yeah. Sophie Acres Homestead said we have too much water most of the time, so raised beds work great.
That'll be great.
And she's not lying.
She ain't lying.
She did a video of her garden, and it was luxurious. It was really, very healthy. All right. Kentucky Stable Living. PJ, I know your email is on Patreon, but I can't find it right now. Can you give it to me, please?
Who is that?
Kentucky Sustainable Living.
Do we know this person? Viking Services at Hotmail.
Viking Services at Hotmail.
.com.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about what's a woman. That was so easy. We solved that in like one comment. And then
you have an intelligent audience,
right? And there's that reel where a Canadian politician is asking the Canadian government sitting in Parliament or whatever, what's a woman? And their Department of Health guy doesn't even say anything.
Do you know that they ruled in court that trans can now compete in women's powerlifting?
Oh my gosh.
There's no way a woman's going to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't even compete.
And what does that say about the person who's competing in there? Oh, there is number 4. Raccoon number 4.
Raccoon number 4. Hunter Kirk says, Shalom from North Idaho. Are you under a lot of snow right now, Hunter Kirk?
North Idaho.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember when we were up there? We drove up past Bonner's Ferry and what's that other bigger town?
We went through Colville, Washington.
No, but when we got into Idaho, we were going north on, was that 95?
Coeur d'Alene?
Oh, north of Coeur d'Alene.
No, it's got that weird name, though. They call it one thing and someone pronounces the other way. It's a bigger city up there.
Yeah, it's near Bonner's.
All right. Grateful Acres, too much iron in the well water, so we use rainwater for the garden. Well, that makes sense. And if you have ducks and little puddles and pools and you can gather their water, that's a good fertilizer. Palmetto Paratrooper said there is no such thing as women's sports anymore. Yeah, that's women being canceled right there is what that is.
Yep.
Just canceled. It's so sexist and it's horrible. Not a lot of women wanting to play men's sports, right? There's a reason why they don't. Lots of snow, said Hunter Kirk. Yeah. More than what you want. That is just ridiculous about trans power lifting as women. Right. And there we go. We talked about Atlanta. You want to talk about Bakhmut? Or is it Bakhmut?
Bakhmut?
Bakhmut.
Bakhmut. It's going to fall. Russians are going to capture it here directly. And now everyone's saying, oh, it's not that important. It's like sour grapes, right? They probably weren't any good anyway. When they've been pouring bodies in there, literally.
Right.
From the beginning. They're going to lose it. Probably within a week.
Sergeant James is now pre-order number 10.
Woo-hoo.
Yay. Thanks, Sergeant James. There's Rachel Whitehouse, finally off work. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
Thank you for supporting the channel, Rachel Whitehouse. And
that's a great name.
Hot House is
Hen house.
Height house. It's basically saying hot house.
Yeah.
No? Height's not hot.
Heisa is hot.
Height's is hot?
I don't know what height means.
It's still a good name, Rachel. And she's a lovely lady. Well, she's one of those people who caught the bug. DK Lisa, Shalom, y'all, burning daylight on the left coast.
Hey, we're getting ready to change the clocks next week, aren't we?
That's right.
Have more daylight?
That's right. Lamp keeper. I've of counting camel in Wally World and count VW bugs, but never counted roadkill. New Southern road trip game? No.
Yep, we're up to 4 raccoons and 1 deer.
Well, it's also board driver game. And
Just keep me alert.
wait, Lamp Keeper said something else way back here. I don't know if I'm going to get to her comment or not. She's submitting. Well, I won't say it. You can say it. She's been doing a lot of writing lately.
Yeah, don't tell people secrets.
It's not a secret.
Don't tell them.
It's
I'm
on
sick.
the Instagram.
Sis. Well, not everyone has access.
Scotty John said shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, Scotty John. And wait.
What do y'all want to talk
How
about?
do I pre-order, says Smiling Mary. Smiling Mary, you go to Devarim Publishing. That is like Deuteronomy in Hebrew, Debarim. And you go to books in print, and then it'll show her book, which is a good kid's book. If you don't have it, it's a really good one. I recommend it. And then under it, it'll have mine. And then it says, like, under that, a little bar that says pre-order. And you just click on that and fill out the information.
And you'll be the first to get one.
There's already 10 pre-orders. Patty Sanchez, Sandpoint, Idaho. It's not
That's what I'm
Lane.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking of, Sandpoint.
Oh, you're thinking,
We were north of Sandpoint,
yeah.
that national forest up there.
We had some adventure in Idaho.
We had adventure?
In that natural... What?
National forest.
National forest area. Yes, we did. There were some very interesting people in the parking lot.
You could say they were criminals.
Should we tell the story in a brief?
I don't know how much longer you have, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so do you guys want to hear about the Sand Point National Forest story? Let me see if you guys answer that, and then we'll get to it. Patty Sanchez says yes. Anybody else? Powerful Prep says yes. Lynn says definitely.
All right. That's
Okay. So we were on a vacation as a family.
the only vacation we took in 20 years in the Army. We took one vacation.
One big family vacation.
Yeah.
And we had our 3 young children and a dog in the car.
Rhodesian Ridgeback.
And we had been like camping. We stayed in a hotel one night when it rained really hard, but like trying to camp and just see the beauty of the area because the area is quite pretty. And so we pull into this national forest parking area for
Campground.
a campground. And it was a nice place. It had like a lake and a dock and the outdoor bathrooms and stuff. And so we get out and we start unpacking all our stuff, get the dog out in its kennel and our tent and everything. And then me and the kids go for a little walk. And my husband is hanging out there in a hammock, I think.
Yeah.
And so as I'm walking around, I'm noticing another person shows up, and it's a man and a woman, and they have a canoe, and they get their canoe off their car, and they go, we talk to them for a few minutes, and then they go off to do their canoeing thing. And as we're walking around this parking lot, we walk by a station wagon, and there's 2 men in it, and
It was a Caprice Classic.
which is a big old station wagon, and they're just sitting there reading newspapers. And I'm like, interesting. And then, like, a little bit later, I take the kids to the bathroom, or we go
Gotta get water.
to get water from the spigot, and the guys are still sitting there.
And they lifted the newspapers up over their face.
And so I'm like, isn't that weird? And then, like, the third time I walk by, and they're still sitting there, like, 2 hours later with these newspapers, I went back to my husband and I said, honey, there's something wrong. And he goes, what are you talking about? I mean, people come in here all the time. I said, they do. And what did we do and what did the other people do? When you're camping and you show up in a parking lot at your campground, you don't sit and read a newspaper. What do? You start unpacking all your camping stuff. You get out your barbecue and you get out your cooler and you get out your tent and your fishing poles if you're going to fish or whatever. And so he said, yeah, that is kind of strange. And so there was an interlude where they came over to talk to my husband.
No.
But we made a little
You're messing
plan.
up the story. They didn't come talk to me right away.
No, I didn't say right away, but I'm saying we made up a little plan. We had no cell phone. And I was really getting quite suspicious. So we made a little plan and I said, well, look, I'll take the car. I'll go into town with the kids. Auspiciously or whatever, I'm going to get gas in the vehicle or ice.
Going to get ice.
Or something.
That's what it was, ice.
And he was going to stay at camp and I was going to call the police from a phone in town. And I had got the kind of vehicle and the license plate number on the walks. And so we hatched that plan, and that's what I did. I left, and I went in and I called, and I gave the license plate number and everything, and then you can tell your part.
So the police told her, we don't have a match on that license plate to that kind of car. We'll send a deputy out. And she came home from town and told me that, put the ice in the cooler and said, I'm taking the kids down to the lake. And so she went down to the lake. And then a couple minutes later, a deputy shows up and he drove, it's like a circle that we were in. And he drove right past two people's campsites and stopped at that station wagon and had a conversation with the fellas, looked in the back of their car and then left. And when they left, one of the guys came walking over to where I'm laying in the hammock. I had a 45 underneath my shirt. And he said, where's your old lady? I said, what the cops want? As he's approaching my hammock. And he goes, expletives, pigs, blah, always hassling people. They told us we got to leave. And he said, hey, where'd your old lady go? I said, she went down to the lake. He goes, no, before that. I said, she went into town to get ice. And as he was walking away, he said, some people need to mind their own effing, he didn't say effing, he said the word business. And he looked like a very dirty, greasy Joey Ramone. And I'm like, this could be a problem later. And then when they left, they squealed out of their spewed gravel and just took off. And I'm like, great, I'm sitting here in a tent right next to this gravel road and they could come back tonight with an attitude.
Right? So come to find out, those guys had warrants for their arrest. But the police officer was like outnumbered or whatever, so he didn't want to like try to arrest them. And one of the guys was big right then, so we told them they had to leave the campground, right? But soon after that, we decided we're not staying in the campground.
Well, we stayed there that night. We stacked up firewood all around our tent, between the tent and the road. I had my shotgun laying next to my bed. If I heard a car coming, I was going to get up.
But we left the next day. That was it. So that was our experience in northern Idaho, the national forest.
5 raccoons.
But it was, it's a pretty area, and it's not like that's going to happen to everyone who goes to a campground. So, Grateful Acres got pre-order number 11, and Smiling Mary probably got pre-order number 12.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you very much, you guys. I hope you
I don't even have one yet.
I don't have a copy of my own book, so you guys may be reading it before I do. Okay, so Lady Smith says, not being a part in the confused mess is soul regeneration. Sidearm while setting in camp is camp wise.
Sidearm when doing anything in life is camp wise these days. You got to have a gun. That's my opinion.
Well, you have to definitely be ready to self-rescue, as people say.
Self-rescue.
You're going to be prepared to self-rescue.
No one is coming to help you.
At least not for 20 minutes. And it's also good to get training, medical training.
You got a bear fact hanging behind your head.
Yeah, there's a bear fact right behind her head. We got the patch from Refuge Medical Training. All Landscaper saying she's pre-ordering tonight. Thank you. And thank you for supporting the channel. Ladies, that's awesome. Okay, we told a story.
We told a story.
We were talking about Black Moon, which you said is going to fall.
It's gonna fall.
I saw a tweet there on the Twitter where someone said Zelensky is horrible and is forcing young men and old men to defend that city, and they're just getting killed for no reason at all. And it's a terrible mess over there. Never leave the house unarmed, said Cindy P. And Sophie Akers said, police out here probably would never get here because she's out in the Canadian wilderness. If they do come, it's going to be like by dog sled or
With a clipboard and a pen to write the report.
Mounties, right? Or on horseback with the red outfit. And
I actually
guy.
like the Mounties. Mounties are pretty good.
I think Mounties are cool as anything.
I mean, I've worked with them.
But it could be, a 200-mile trek from the
Right.
station out to where she is.
They use snow machines this time of year.
Snow machines. There you go. Get to there a little bit faster. So, what was the next thing we were going to talk about? Gardening?
It's your live stream, darling.
Well, we talk about really fascinating stuff when we're just sitting here trying to. Let me think.
Ask the people. Take it to the people. What do
That's
you want
right.
to talk about?
What you want to talk about? We have people out here who know how to handle troublemakers. We have heard stories. Laugh out loud.
We have a backhoe.
What could he mean by that? I'm just thinking Soapy Oker, the Soapy Home. Never mind. SAH. If you just throw out like a thing of hamburger and a tract of grits and just stay indoors for a little while, that might handle problems too.
Do Grizz eat carrion?
Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Rex Tibor official. There he is. Tibor Rex. Rex Tibor.
Oh, really?
Yep. Shalom, brother. Black bear, no grizzly here. Black bear will do. Black bear will eat you just as easy as a grizz. Just throw some honey on that guy and then just shut the door. Oops. Let's see. There's a Torah resolution for every problem.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. And Thunder Ranch said good place to get firearms instruction. I'm assuming he's saying for T-Board. I'm pretty good at that too.
Well, if a name like Thunder Ranch, that's a pretty good place to get firearms instruction also.
Right? We have CPR first and training next week at work. Excellent.
Good.
First aid training. Yeah, that's
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and
7.
they don't breathe anymore because people were afraid to breathe, so they said you don't have to, but that's actually not true. You should.
I think
You should do 15 and 2.
they said the pumping was more effective.
Well, they were saying it if you read between the lines because people were afraid to do CPR at all because they weren't going to put their mouth on this person. So then they've changed the instruction to be you don't have to breathe this blah blah blah, which is actually a lie. You really should breathe too.
You can always put your shirt over the person's mouth and breathe.
Yeah.
Or, there's ways, bandanas, masks.
Or only work with people who are clean. There's a concept.
Well, there's a concept. Lynn Wilkinson said my area takes trespassers very seriously.
Oh, that was 6.
Mike Goodwrench 1 says, you kids at it again? Always.
Always.
Who you calling a kid? I bet you're a kid. I bet you we're older than you
My
are.
kids have kids.
That's right. You having classes, says Thunder Chicken Ranch. I do that sometimes. I will think
You have a
about
women's
it.
class coming up, right?
Do I? Pastor's saying I do have a women's class coming up.
It's just for the tribe.
Well, maybe we'll do one now.
It's up to
Seems
you.
like there could be some interest there. Okay, what was I going to say? Oh, gardening. Somebody wanted to talk about gardening, please. Do you have things you want to know? Wow, I need an update in CPR. Last time I trained it was 12 and 2. It's been a while. Smiling Mary said, at our last CPR class, the instructor gave everyone mouth shields if you were hesitant to do the breaths. Right, and you can buy those mouth shields.
Yeah, they're cheap. I bet you Refuge Medical sells them, but I'm not sure.
Right? Thunder Chicken Ranch said, me and my wife would be interested in a class that SK teaches. All right, well, I will take that on board. We will give it some thought. So then what were we just talking about right before that? Gardening. If you guys want to talk about gardening, do it. Surrounded by cowboys, farmers, Amish, a few DAs, nearly flat and fertile ground. The father is good to me.
That sounds like a good place to live.
That is a good place, Lady Smith. Well, I will start the gardening conversation if you want to. We have almost nothing.
We have garlic and onions.
We have garlic and onions growing in our garden. And it's not true. I did plant peas. I planted, probably about 40 peas.
Oh, yeah, your peas may be coming up now.
In the greenhouse bricks, even though I don't have the plastic. But I ordered plastic and clamps and tape. And so
You're not going to need it this season.
well, the thing to do in there for this season is to have your brassicas in there under the shade cloth and with the screen to keep the bugs off of them.
That was a live hog sitting on the ground.
All right. Forest Goes Preparedness says attempting to grow Brussels sprouts this year in Missouri. Any tips? Have you grown them before? I have had Brussels sprouts. The problem with our area in the Ozarks is it's going to get too hot for them, like in July. And so that's why mine are in my greenhouse, even though it's just like a fence panel. It's going to have shade cloth on it, and that helps them getting through. Man, that feels like a chicken bite. Getting through the hottest part.
Because when we were in Washington, we were picking Brussels with ice on them.
Right,
and bringing them in to eat them. They were delicious.
Yeah, they can stand to get really, really cold. So the best place to plant them is somewhere shady.
Or plant them late in the season.
Or plant them late in the season. Yeah. But I liked having them. And mine weren't very big. And one reason mine aren't very big, the plants themselves, when I plant in the greenhouse, is the block space is small. So the plant can't get that big. Another thing I did when I planted them outside of the greenhouse, in the ground, the beetles, it's not parliamentary, the Harlequin beetles got so thick, I covered the whole top of the plant.
Oh yeah, I remember that, with that really fine mesh.
With a really fine mesh, like gardening netting. And that helped keep the plants from getting too torn up by the beetles. So that's another option. All right, so let me see what you guys are saying. All the area between Wilburton and Poto has been getting so much rain. Our property is a flood goose retreat right now. That's awesome for your geese. Try to grow rice. Soapy Acres, we won't be planting outside until late May if you're lucky, because she's in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Still in cleanup mode, says Lady Smith, reconfiguring season's plantings due to consistent, exceptional winds every year. Learning. Cindy P says, gotta run, have a safe trip. Shalom, Cindy. She's probably gotta make dinner or something. It's 5:30.
Second dead deer. It was not a pun.
So we're at 2 dead deer and how many raccoons?
6.
6 raccoons we've seen.
And I haven't seen a skunk since that first one. We've seen one skunk.
Right, so we're probably in a wetter area. The skunks are not like right here.
Well, we saw a lot of skunks go the other way.
There's Teresa Jukowitz waving. Yes, because she's a moderator. She's waving bye-bye
Bye-bye.
to Cindy P.
Thank you for flying Fox Airways.
Thunder Chicken Ranch said wild geese, not our geese. Oh, so you got wild geese landing near your property. For some people, that's a really good thing. They shoot these
2 shots, yep.
and eat them. I like swampy bits.
Yes, you do.
I really do. I just see it as a very fertile place. And yes, of course, there's mosquito larvae. But there's also things like salamanders and frogs and toads and You got birds can water there and deer can drink there, and just, I like wet and swampy. Welcome back, Queen of the Cosmetics. And so I would be ecstatic if Canadian geese and ducks came to our property. And part of it right now is pretty swampy, and I can hear those little spring keeper frogs in there. And I love going and seeing those huge batches of
eggs.
Yeah, tadpole eggs. And we've done experiments where we take the tadpole eggs back to our house and keep it in like a 5-gallon bucket so it's wet, or a little pool. And when those tadpoles hatch out, that's their home space now. So the ones that live will live in the siding of your house, or like on your lawn furniture or in the nearby trees. And then they will want to lay their eggs back in that little pool or 5-gallon bucket, and they don't go back to where you got your tadpoles eggs from. And I was happy with that because they eat mosquitoes and flies and all sorts of
You
things.
gotta start signing off.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's why I like it. Tons of tadpoles. We're on a
Say
full pack.
goodbye.
Okay, we have to go now. Thank you guys for showing up.
Shalom.
Shalom. Bye-bye. Sorry. Bye.